What's good, everybody? We're about to step into the solar eclipse in Aries. And it's with this solar eclipse that we have the real strong glimpse on the truth when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to who we are, as it comes and pertains to who we're becoming, and most importantly, who are we allowing ourselves to be? And when it comes to the solar eclipse time frames and the renewal of Aries season, like we're seeing, you really have to kind of make bolder moves and bolder takes that align deeper to who you are and where you're coming from. I always say during eclipse seasons, it's the time when your own ego in your mind has to take a back seat and allow the universe, the higher self that you have, and just the stronger principalities that exist to take the wheel, right? And I know we have the quote where it's, oh, Jesus take the wheel, right? But the eclipse season, that's the best way to kind of explain it, because there's some undescribable odd happenings that are going on in your life right now. I don't even have to look at your chart to know. Between this Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, and this eclipse in between sandwich that we've been in. I named this, I believe it was like the soul's evolution or like the soul's rebirth. Something like that. I'm totally wrong, I'm sure. The soul's arrival, right? Those other titles also work because when it comes to a solar eclipse, your ego is as fragile as it can be, because the human ego isn't a bad thing. However, when the ego starts to associate itself with blind pride, that's when we enter into a different stage. The problem that we have in this modern age is that people don't necessarily know the difference, right? With that being said, one thing I really kind of want to point out to everybody is that the universe is changing in a way that's trying to allow you to be a better rendition of yourself, to really come into this character customization screen like you might see in a game. I'm a video game guy, I grew up playing video games, so I'm using this as a reference. But usually, sometimes in a game, you have to start off and you start off with a character, and the character's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I have a couple cool items. I bought the content pack. Everything's fine. But then it's like later on, there's usually a certain point in these games, especially those where you make your own character, where they allow you to completely remodel what that character is, whether it be their tier, whether it be the way that they operate. Maybe they were a warrior, now they do magic, right? Just using this as an example. But there's a huge change that you're allowed to make. And sometimes, which is funny, in games like that, they only let you fully change that customization one time. Maybe it's like halfway through the game, maybe it's whenever else. But some games only let you do that one real time for you to like get things right. And so sometimes you get to that point and you don't change a thing. Sometimes you get to that point and you know what things have been affecting you. You know what things haven't been working the same way. You know what things aren't clicking the way that they're supposed to. When it comes to this solar eclipse in Aries, it's about the ego letting go of the perfectionism and the need to always push yourself out a certain way into the world. Because truth be told, what comes on with the solar eclipse in Aries, you might not even like the same exact things that you did before. And maybe you're starting to feel this already. Maybe you're starting to feel this shift a little bit earlier, right? Maybe you haven't felt it yet at all. And then once this eclipse happens, you're suddenly in this position to where you're like, no, I need to make a change. I need to make a pivot. I need to make a difference in my life. Because no matter who you are and how it works, eclipse season will align you to your greater destiny. And if you are nervous about it, if you are scared about it, the solar eclipse in Aries wants to show you it's through the courage of giving it a shot and giving it your all that allows the world to start to move in that function. Now, here's the reason why you might have been feeling a type of way. Usually with Aries season starts, boom, we're at it. Oh, I'm outside. Oh, we're making moves. Usually that happens pretty quickly. But here's the difference of this year. The difference of this year is that we started off with Mercury retrograde in Aries. We started this Aries season with Mercury retrograde in Aries, Venus retrograde in Aries. So when your mind, excuse me, before I forget, Mars in Cancer literally was retrograde at the beginning of this year even. And Mars went direct in Cancer, which Aries is ruled by Mars. Now, I know for some people this is a little jargony, but let me just break down why this is all important. Because as you finally have felt what is right to move forward, you're like, oh, this feels right. This feels new. I'm going to move forward this way. I'm glad that I ended up like really doing that part, that real work. But you've been getting stopped. There's been roadblocks. Well, yo, but this was supposed to be the thing. You've been getting an email late. That's really important. You may not have the security of your job right now. You may not have all of these specific things that used to make you comfortable. And one thing I want to kind of point out is that the universe during eclipse season shows you is like, don't get too comfortable because your evolution will push you beyond the means of what you think you can do. That's the point. That's the reason. The reason why people are actually scared of retrogrades, the reason why people are actually scared of eclipses is because like to make that real change, it hurts. Let's be honest. It hurts. For all my people who alchemize, for all my people who do this work, who know their charts, who may have gotten a reading from me. And if so, thank you. You've been able to help me move my dream forward as a human being. And as it still continues to shape, I was able to help shape yours even better through the means of this astrology. That's the most beautiful thing to me. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, I do have to be transparent in terms of my announcements and talking to y'all about this, right? I just got to be real. I don't know how to explain this. I was honestly nervous. I took a little extra bit before I even went live today because I was nervous because I'm like, how do I tell this? How do I explain this, right? And so just in full transparency, this live stream is going to be the last live stream of its kind. And it's a weird thing to say. But I want to give you all some context as to why this is happening, and to also, before we get into anything else in this detail, know that I have a lot more cooking in the future. But let me explain why these live streams are not going to be happening in the same capacity, right? And I know some of y'all are like, no, wait, no, but like, I got y'all. One sec. I started going live again. Oh, correction. I started going live on Instagram 2018, 2019 with astrology. For those of y'all who've been here long enough, and I like, it's been 6 years at this point, 7 years almost. I was going live for this place known as House of Intuition in Los Angeles. I used to work with them. I went from being their crystal shop boy who kept the store up at one of their locations to later on becoming someone who worked the back end. I helped run their programs. I ended up doing classes every single week, and I did live streams about astrology. This is something that like I need to just be transparent about. I have pioneered in this field so much more than y'all think I have, and I don't try to take too much credit for it. But for those of y'all who have realized and also have chimed it back to me about the impact that like my work has made, right? It's been a beautiful thing. But the reason why I'm even bringing this up, I went live every single week for House of Intuition, right? And I didn't own that content. Like I have some of it posted there. I didn't own that content though. I did classes, like hundreds of classes, and I didn't own those classes. So by the time 3 years later, when I finally got the stability, correction, I didn't even get the stability. I was in a location that was able to let me just start to create. It let me start to really like formulate what it is that you're seeing now, right? Shout out Clarice. Clarice, you've been here for a minute. Clarice was you got a really early reading, Clarice. Wow. But yo, that's what I mean, where I'm like, I'm at this stage now where it's like I grew up doing this. You know what I mean? Like I'm grown. I grew up from like the age of 21 where I decided I'm gonna be an astrologer to now. I have done everything in my power to give y'all the realest, most authentic astrology that I could. Because when I first was coming up with astrology, this is an ancestral thing for me, if I'm being transparent. Like I've been doing this for eons. But what I can say is that to really work this capacity in this modern age and stage, I did a lot of this when there was still a lot of naysay and doubt and BS. It took me to have to move to Los Angeles to start what I do simply because people where I'm from couldn't believe in it. So if I tried to do stuff local, it wouldn't have worked out. So I had to get from my hometown. I had to leave behind everything that I like knew and loved and understood to just take a chance off of a whim and with a little bag. Ended up showing up at House of Intuition. My first day in Los Angeles, I was like, I'm gonna work here. A week later, they hired me. Then 3 months after that, I became an astrologer for them. 6 months after that, I started doing their classes. A week after me doing the classes in person, where I finally had people together and I was like, oh, this was my dream. The pandemic happens. The shutdown happens, right? And if you want to know how long that's truly been, from the first time that I came through to do astrology, I didn't have hair. My hair was super short, super low. The reason why this hair and the reason why I've grown my hair from this time frame is because this was from the shutdown into now. This is how long it's been since we have shifted paradigms as a collective. In this whole time, the best way that I can, whether it be in my real life, where I just like, even if I don't use astrology, I still help people out best I can. Or if it's just through speaking with y'all, seeing y'all on this, and like, it's been a beautiful process. And that whole time I've been going live. But you want to know something if I'm being transparent with y'all? Aside from my master classes, I don't have anything I could sit here and say that I'm fully proud about, not just as an astrologer, but also as an artist. And I think with the solar eclipse in Aries, a part of me is like, I want to get out of this mindset of forcing content. I want to get out of this mindset of like having to be here and this. And like, I love to do it, but there's a pressure sometimes that exists to where it's like, well, what if I don't show up for this? And I want to show up for different ways. I want to highlight things. I want to edit more. I've been adding my own music that I've made, and I've been making music for years. And I'm like, oh, why don't I just put the thousands of songs that I've made underneath what I do? The real thing that I'm trying to say here is that, like, for those of y'all who watch my journey, I've put 10,000 hours into everything that I cared about, and I don't have anything yet to show for it that I can like fully say with my heart that that's my shit. And part of why I want to kind of give you this prospect and tell you this, and why I even went live one more time to really kind of explain this piece, is because like something in your heart's stirring too. I'm a little bit ahead of this curve in terms of like trying to be honest and transparent about it. But there's something that's coming up in your life in this next week that's going to have you really start to change and define what your character is, right? I'm in the midst of so many different opportunities. I haven't had a true footing on a lot in the last bit, aside from me working on my own health and mental health. And to be honest, there was a time frame specifically after like I had to deal with like the LA fires. My mental health was not great. I had to look back in the mirror and see myself for the first time after like really diving into hundreds of readings and helping everybody else. And I saw at a certain point that like my body had started carrying weight that wasn't mine. my stress that I had was to perform at a thing even if I didn't have it. And I wanted to just get back to what's sacred and pure, because I'm doing this forever, right? Like in the longevity standpoint, I'm gonna do this forever. You know what I mean? So like, I want to be able to say the things that I'm really feeling as I'm really feeling them. I want to be able to like give you context about things. I want to be able to do live situations to where people may need to know about Venus because they just heard about something, and I can just chime in with a couple minute video or just really help out where I need to help out. My readings are changing on the 30th. As soon as Neptune entered Aries, my entire website is going to be different. It's entirely going to be different. The prices are going to be different as well. If you have been looking, trying to get a reading for a long time, but you don't, like, whatever, get the reading right now. Because I am in this stage with this solar eclipse in Aries where I have to level up and see myself as a person who's done this work entirely, and not just that same kid that started off in his room doing this right now. So I appreciate y'all for listening to this transparency with this, but I want to be able to like help guide people in a time frame where I know there's going to be a lot more BS pulling up. And it's on a marketing scale, as much as I love, again, rocking with y'all and having these live streams do not go to the algorithm as much, right? I want to make stuff that y'all can sit down and enjoy and watch on your TV. You know what I mean? I want to make stuff like where I do maybe just throw in a random part of me making music in there. And it's just, but like, it's a part of the story. I want to be able to take this storytelling brain that I have and that y'all listen to me exercise every time I've been live. But I've been going live on YouTube fully since the end of 2022. The first time I did it was a lunar eclipse in Taurus, and I was going to end it off on the last lunar eclipse, but it didn't feel right. But it feels right to end it off with the solar eclipse. What ending is it have, or do you have, right? To where you need to let yourself have that full rebirth. For if someone just asked if I could turn the captions on right now, I cannot turn. Am I not loud enough? I could change that, but I cannot put the captions on while I'm live for anyone who needs the captions as far as closed captioning is concerned. If you check this later on, a day later, everything will be here. And this is why I wanted to do this a few days before the solar eclipse, just so everyone can see the captions and everything else like that. But as I'm live, I don't believe it works like that. If there's something I could change for that in the future, I will. But just wanted to let you know. Garden just said, I resigned from my job. What could be next? Your soul told you to quit your job. You got out of your ego enough to quit your job. Let's really think about that, especially because of the way that this is, the way that the world is, the way that everyone's talking about money, this, recession, etc. You chose to still do that and go through with that. And because of this circumstance, the universe is slowly guiding you back to what your heart really resonates with. And I think that's the purpose of what I'm trying to tell you with the solar eclipse in Aries. Like, you don't know what you don't know yet. You don't know the next thing that you're about to shift to. Right? Because remember how I talked about earlier? Hey, you get the character, make the customization to your character. No, I was capping. This is your higher self coming through to rearrange those things. Because where you thought, oh, it looked really cool when I put this one item on and that was great. Your higher self is like, that's not going to do nothing. Right? There's a stupid quote that lives in my brain, which is very Aries, where it's just like, basically, I forgot. My friend mentioned it to me one time. He was talking about how like there was like people that would put on like these like, there was like a war game or something, and they all had like these like different attachments on like your gun or something. He was just like, hey, putting details and decor on your weapons doesn't lead to any tactical advantage. Like, and it's funny, but it's true. Right? It's like we can throw glitter at stuff, but if it's not actually gold, it's not gold, right? One of my favorite stones, matter of fact, one of my favorite stones of all time, right? It's pyrite. Why? Why is it pyrite? Because on some ghetto fabulousness, respectfully. Because honestly, right? You look at this, mad random. If I went through back in my hood, if I went back to my hood right now, And I went down with the parks, what I'm sure the new YNs are chilling at, right? And I brought this and I was like, hey, yo, I just found some gold. Someone wanted it. Someone would be like, yo, this is it. This is the gold piece, right? Now, granted, we had to live in a different age. You hand somebody that thing, they'll be like, 1 second. Chat GPT, what's this? This is pyrite, sir. We live in a different age, right? And I didn't even start to get into why the solar eclipse in Aries is so important, because we're in the age of Aquarius, because we're in Pluto in Aquarius, right? Like, how do I frame this? Like, it will literally, like, I don't know how else to tell you this, right? But it will literally break you to not be yourself and to not make these decisions moving forward. Like, it will literally hurt you. It will make you sick. And I'm not saying this to, again, I'm really not trying to say this to scare nobody, but Neptune in Aries is like, if you're inauthentic, you're not going to be seen. You're not going to be known. You're not going to be heard. The illusions that happen with this Neptune and Pisces, all the media, all the BS, everything else like that, this is hitting its fever pitch, because everything else moving forward is about action. Because you can sit here and say, I can't wait to try that thing. Can't wait to give that shot. I can't wait to do the thing that I know that I'm supposed to do. In Neptune and Aries, if you don't do it, you ain't shit. And I don't want to say this to make anybody feel bad. I know I'm in my fire signs part right now. I know I'm being a little more aggressive than typical, but this is what this is. And I would be remiss to not be honest about it. This is the change. And I know that y'all are feeling this. I know that y'all are feeling this, right? But that's the case. That's the situation, right? And one thing that I kind of want to give y'all some hope about, though, is that in this leaning into who you are, leaning into the changes that are occurring. And if you're feeling like, oh, it's retrograde still, I have to stop doing it. I promise you, I've been doing this for 7 years fucking straight. There's never been a time retrogrades screw you over unless you're trying to get a one up on what the universe already has in store for you. But you want to know what? We live in this capitalistic world. We have a bunch of fake spiritualists. We have a bunch of fake people that are pushing things out. I see people who are spiritual faking numbers on their shit. They're not making an impact on nobody. They're doing this so they can be seen like they are somebody. You ain't shit without the in-between of the star that you are. And this is where I don't think people know Neptune and Aries is making this change, which is why I'm like, I can't just be live and just give the same feel good, because that's not what the world is right now. That's not what the world's going to be moving into. Now, granted, some of you might be like, oh man, that was strong. I'm saying this out of genuine love. I love the ever loving crap out of all y'all. Like I am almost brought to tears when I think about just like how many people have like on the side, like have told me that I've changed their life one way or another through like a tarot reading or like an astrology reading. I'm genuinely blessed and honored to be in a position to like do this. And when I do see someone who's like working on a spiritual path and I know that they're legit in their hearts, and I always try to support. I'll reach out to them. I'll like something. I'll tell them like whatever the case is. But like, I don't know how far that goes. And you don't know how far your impact goes either. And what I wanted to say is that like, you know, people who don't believe in like understanding and tapping into their greatness, don't watch me. You can't. You don't resonate enough. And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. People have different in-betweens. I went on Twitter the other day, unfortunately. I went on Twitter the other day. And I just sat there because I was like, let me just see what it's like, right? You know what I'm saying? And I was looking, because that's the real internet. You want to see something? You want to see something? You want to know what people are really think? Go to Twitter. Go to Twitter. That's what people are really thinking. Not you. But that's what people are saying. That's what people are feeling, right? I have, if I go on the internet, if I go on TikTok, if I go on Twitter, if I go on anything else, literally half of the people, just based off of who I am and how I show up and how I just exist, people would write me off like, this person is the worst. He's a tall, pretty guy that's standing there. He must be on some blah, blah, blah. You get dismissed so quickly before people can even tap into your character. And so if you're being dismissed initially for something and people are already prejudging you for something, are you going to help try to just prove them right? Or do you just choose to resonate? Or do you just choose to stand your 2 feet down and say, hey, this is me? And even if the me or the you that you are is taking a second to fully formulate, it's about standing that ground and in that power to say those things. You know what I'm saying? Talk that talk. Look, man, I'm fed up with a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm fed up with a lot because I'm looking at, especially during this Venus retrograde, I've been seeing so many discourse situations about relationships, and they're all terrible. I have not heard a good take on anything relational since Venus has gone into Aries, right? The people are blaming the divine masculine needs to come through and just fix everything, and I need to do nothing. That's not how the divine feminine works. The divine masculine. Oh, I was talking with she goes by Sage on here. Sage Lazuli on IG. That's one of my homegirls who came up doing this astrology stuff at the same time. And it's funny because like on their side of things, I'm seeing that part. On their side of things, they're like, yo, I said that men don't understand the difference between controlling somebody and loving somebody. And like both sides of this discourse is disgusting, right? Both sides of this discourse forget the fact that we're human beings. Both sides of this discourse forget the fact that no matter how we identify, no matter what we look like, no matter how or where we come from, we the same. We are people, right? Even if you're spiritual, even if you notice other stuff, even if you're tapped into 5D, 6D, 7, you are a human being. And if you're not a human being, what's up? No, but genuinely. Because even if you are a magic fairy who ended up incarnating here through the Pisces vibration, you're still living a human experience. And when we forget about our human experience and the soul that gets acquired, that's where we reach division. That's where we look at these other people like they're separate from us or separate from who we are. Or we get into a situation where we might feel like we're better than, I'm more spiritual, I've done this. No. Because as much as what time as I step up here and I'm like, look at all the work that I did. There's someone who went in and clocked into a corporate job they hated every single day. Right? And it's a blessing to be in a generation and to be in a space to where like I can come up here, cuss to y'all with my locks, but being honest about like what's really coming through as it comes through. And I'm hope one gem every time I do something like this reaches somebody. And I appreciate the feedback. And like, it's been so hard for me in the last few months to go around and comment back on things and to get back to stuff because I had to go into where I'm at, right? I had a situation at the beginning of this year where like, I thought my house was going to be burnt down. And it bugged me out because it was the first time in my life I wasn't prepared on some like actual like survival or getting through thing like in my life. It was the first time I was like, oh, like I didn't even like start to like look at this. Now did the instincts move through? Did I end up like making everything work out? Has everything ended up turning out fine? For sure. I had trust. I had faith. We did everything that we needed to do as far as me and my close people. And we were okay. That's a beautiful thing. But the change and the difference of what I'm trying to kind of get to y'all is that the solar eclipse in Aries doesn't care about your little feelings no more. It don't care about the little thing that you think that you were supposed to do. It don't care about like well, once I get this accolade, I'll be there. It doesn't matter. I'm one of the most star-studded astrologers based off of my actual accolades, but not everybody gonna look at me because of the way that I exist. Right? Like genuinely speaking, my actual rap sheet of stuff that I do is crazy. But at the same time, when your ego is that, you miss out on everything. If I came up on here and told you just every little piece of everything all the time, just to make sure that we're missing something there. Because what is this really for? If I learned all this astrology, what is it for? It's for me to help y'all also recognize that astrology in your world. So you can also recognize the star that you are. I know the star that I am. And when I forget the star that I am, I go to my astrologer people. I pay for other readings from other people just to make sure that I'm on my shit. Right? But that's my own rendition of that. And the reason why, again, I'm reflecting this, I'm using my Aries rising as best as I can right now. Just to show you like, yo, on your side, you know this. Quintana, so much more than a pretty face. I appreciate it. And just to give you some context, like genuinely speaking, the first year or two that I ever did readings, I refused to show my face because I literally, it was like, I couldn't make it feel like people were just diving in for the wrong reasons. I had to make sure it was from the soul. I had to make sure it was coming from me. I did and started a YouTube when nobody was on it and just put stuff out there just to do that. And I'm not saying you have to do these same things. But what I'm saying is that the solar eclipse is going to push you into like knocking that out. If I'm not mistaken, it was a solar eclipse that ended up leading me to start this shit in the first place. Right? Yeah, no, I literally didn't show my face. For anyone who was like in the original stuff, it was only audio. If you were like here, like it was only audio. And I'm going to give you some context. It was only audio. People would sign up. They would just give me their birth chart information. I didn't even ask what they did. I didn't ask where they were coming from. I needed to know from a personal note because I came into this a skeptic, right? I needed to know from a personal note that without any other thing aside from just your chart itself, I could read who and what makes you the star you are. And I proved that to myself. And in every instance of doubt, I've proved this more to myself, which is why it's like, yo, solar eclipse in Aries, I'm in a different phase. I don't even know what this is going to fully look like. I'm in a lot of different scenarios and a lot of different opportunities that are pulling up. They're all beautiful and they're not going to come through exactly on time every single time. And I don't know how everything logistically is going to speak, but I have the faith and the courage that it's going to keep moving through. I have the faith and the courage that despite me not going live, I'm going to find a way better thing for y'all so you can get better information. Maybe you get more information quicker. Maybe you get more profound things at a different rate. Maybe things get just prettier and I get to focus more on that, right? Because at the end of the day, my main thing is readings, right? But if I'm not doing a reading specifically, I have to create. If I'm not helping people teach their like core tenet of like how they operate, I have to be creating myself. But guess what? That's my astrology. That's a star I am. And that's something that I'm trying to step into even more in terms of this. So the solar eclipse in Aries isn't just activating myself, it's activating you. It's activating your loved ones. Is that like when you start to hear the frustration in the world in the next couple of days. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the news cycle is gonna be stupid in the next few days. I'm just gonna be real with you, right? The violence, the this, the blah, the that, everything is gonna be in your face. Why? Because it wants to upset you. It wants to get you out your character. It wants to make you think that despite what you change, the world is stronger than your connection to God. And that's the shit I do not accept. And that's the part that I'm gonna sit there and be like, no. And no matter how it is that you see or formulate or realize or recognize God, no matter what background you're from, whether you're like Christian, Arabic, whatever, like, well, it literally doesn't matter, right? Because I've met some of the most religious, terrible people in my life. And I met some just, hey, I just want to make sure I'm a nice person, who are like the most highest vibration people ever. It's not about what you believe. It's about what you put out into the world. It's not about what you think. It's about what you resonate into the world. And you don't know how to resonate into the world until you have that self-acceptance. To know thyself is to know your worth, and to know your worth is to become the best part of being human. Because what people mistake about humanity is that being human is a divine gift. If we look at just the animal kingdom at large, we the only ones with the opposable thumbs. Aside from we're the ones that are like doing civilization on a day-to-day basis. Now, granted, nature has its own blessings, but we get so confused. We forget how blessed that we actually are. Why? It's not your fault. It's by design. It's by design. For that last however long Neptune's been in Pisces, which has been ridiculous. Lies, media, everything's content. Your regular day person's a content creator now. Like there's just so many different like avenues and waves, and this thing is going on. You get what I'm saying? And so this is where we get to this next section of stuff. You hear my fire, of course. That's what you're here for. But are you starting to hear yours? Are you starting to see yours? If I could let someone see like all this stuff in like just the easiest way possible, I would. The best thing I found is astrology, right? I'm gonna start pulling more tarot stuff moving forward. I'm accepting that I'm more than just an astrologer. I just don't know how to put that yet, right? So what's up? I got sent something really cute. Anyway. But the whole idea, I would say, behind, again, the solar eclipse, you're not going to necessarily feel up to the next challenge necessarily. But are you brave enough to take on what that's supposed to be? Are you brave enough to step into where that area is? Can you have the courage that your higher self is going to move you forward, that the universe is going to move you through, right? I love y'all, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I'm not going to sit here I'm not going to sit here and just like, there's so many avenues, and I've seen the tactics and I've seen all this stuff, and it's like, we have a real strong part of humanity to remember what makes us human again. And a huge part of that is just seeing each other as people, just seeing each other as like those who are trying to move through, you know what I'm saying? Real or not feeling up to it. Who could blame you? We're in between eclipses, right? We're in between the literal sandwich of like real depth and transformation. Ironically, the first eclipse cycle that I did start going live again was during the retrograde, and the one that I'm closing the live streams out on is during the same type of time frame. These cycles exist for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my best to like come up last 2 years, give y'all this for free. You know what I mean? For free, off the love, straight up, you know? But times are changing. Things are shifting, and I'm starting to actually see my worth, right? I went from, for just some transparency purposes, I went from being like, I hope somebody will maybe come to my hope somebody might come to my class about astrology, to like where like I think yesterday I'm slated to teach an entire 20 group of astrologers who have been doing this for longer than me about an astrology topic, coming from the youngest person in that area. It's different, right? And I keep getting this need to like let y'all know that like you are the difference in your world, and it takes you to have to see you're the difference in your world to make that change. But the higher self portion of the solar eclipse in Aries is going to show you where that is. Now I'm about to pull cards soon. I didn't put the newsletter out yet. I'll be writing on that as well. And I hope this gives y'all some hope, motivation, and real context that like your world doesn't have to look like what everyone else is, right? And actually, I'm about to go to the cards right now, right? And actually, to put it all together, word. This is my first deck ever. This is my first tarot deck ever. But I've had this original tarot deck at least since I've started it up again at the beginning of going on my live stream 2-year tour. This was always the plan, to be so honest with you. It was always a plan. So like, but it's about having the bravery of like, am I going to follow through that idea? Yeah, it feels right. And I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all being here. And we only gonna get better. And we only gonna get more profound. And I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm having a lot of higher ticket things, but everything that I'm doing and planning and pricing moving forward is because I have my 10,000 hours in all of these things. But I want to just show up with it, right? So I love y'all. Thank you so much for seeing me Thank you so much for keeping the space open for me as I evolve, right? For those of y'all who've been here, I've been through different stages and phases. You know what I'm saying? The last few months, I've been in my yellow hat stage. Yellow hat stage ends next month. It's a different world. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what happens. It's actually the mustard hat, but like, you know, I had it way before that. By the way, I'm always ahead of trend by accident. So let's get to. But no, for real, shout out to y'all. And because I'm not doing live streams as much, I can get back to comments more. So that's cool. I've just been so stretched out between different things, and I'm stretching things out. Let me stop. All right, back to the cards. Let's do that. Okay, this is why I can't be live no more. You know, I'll just be saying stuff. All right, let's get into the next part of this. Okay, let's get it. All right. Now that we're through with that, let's start to break down what's going on with this solar eclipse in Aries. And just to let y'all know, for anyone who's looking for a mini reading, this is also the last mini reading queue that we're gonna have. Not at least a live one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Skywoman, you just joined in past January. Appreciate all the knowledge. I appreciate you being here. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to like see people from all these different walks and all these different parts. And it's hard to like encapsulate sometimes. So like, I'll just be I think like the other day, I was just like, someone said something. I was like, I was just, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me just start to go through. Yeah, let's get it. Okay. Let's see what's up. All right. So let's see what's pulling up. Oh, that's weird. I just pulled the Queen of Swords, which is hilarious because the Queen of Swords is really representative to the way that you have to cut through the noise, right? As a matter of fact, let's keep it a buck. Underneath this was a devil card. You're going to have to cut through the noise of your own personal BS. You're going to have to cut through the noise of what's been controlling you. The habits you have, the obsessions you have, and everyone has something about it. Everyone has a thing that everyone has a vice. It's life, right? Some sort of vice, but it's like, are you letting that vice control you? Are you letting that vice rule your judgments? And that's the different part of things. You get what I'm saying? Yo, so listen, all right, so give you some perspective. I might not be doing the lives anymore, but I might literally just have the literal Zoom classes where we're meeting, and it'll be like for the price of like the same mini readings that I've probably had, but it'll be like an actual intimate community where we could talk back and forth a little. Y'all can like answer like anything. If y'all have questions, we can really get into it. So I'm not leaving this forever, but I need to change the way I've been doing it so I can open up more space to be me and to give y'all more of me and not have me just making content. I saw something that really hurt and like irked me earlier. I didn't even repost it. Like I'll be reposting whatever all the time. It irked me because it was like, yo, an artist has never burnt out from being an artist, but they definitely have from being a content creator. And I it hurt my heart. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, why you gotta say it like that? No. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it's been dope. It's been dope. All right, let's get it. Man, I've been going live for like 5 years. That's crazy, man. It's just a wild concept. That's a lot of internet time. Anyway, let's start to get into a little bit more. What else is pulling up for the solar eclipse in Aries that we all need to know? The Hermit and the Ace of Wands. Okay. I've also been low-key working on my tarot stuff like crazy, but I haven't been saying nothing about it. You know, sometimes you just got to do your thing. Anyway, Ace of Wands, Hermit. You're developing your own, again, through like this reclusivity. And if you feel the need to like step out of the limelight, if you need to like step, I'm doing the same shit. That's crazy. Anyway, you need to step out of like what you've been constantly doing just to take that soul mission. This is what comes out of it. The Ace of Wands is literally you letting yourself make the change. As Tyler once said, new magic, wand. But like that's change. You feel what I'm saying? So something to keep in mind is like some people are going to be a little bit more reclusive. Some people are like, yo, this is my go time to go. But it's like, let yourself be meditative about your actions versus like being inactive about them, right? Especially as Venus goes back into Pisces. There's going to be this Thursday, Venus goes back into Pisces. So this is going to be a lot of revisions on how you allow your intuition to move you. And here's the thing too. We have two different renditions of how the solar eclipse in Aries got to go. We have two paths, right? And I'm going to just be honest with you. It's either, hey, let me follow the real part of everything and know that abundance is mine. Know that the wealth is mine. Know that as I'm following this, things will fall through. Know that as I'm tapping into my higher self sense, things will make sense. I will make profit. I will make what I need to, and I'll actually be more abundant than I ever have. That's the mindset. Or you're crying over spilt milk. I hate this card. I hate this card so much. It's dirty from something. I just, whatever, right? Or, oh, I know what happened there. Don't let your cards get wet. Don't be like me. What I can say, right, is that when it gets to this 5 of Cups scenario, you're mourning an old version of you, but don't let that mourning of that old version of you, like you haven't wasted time, is actually what I'm really trying to say. One of the biggest things about solar eclipse and Aries, and that what I want to get across to you before I read for everybody else, just because you haven't made the thing happen exactly the way you want it yet, doesn't mean that you've been wasting time. You haven't at all. I hope that hits somebody. I feel somebody in here like, oh no, like, so you're welcome. But all right, let's get to it. We're gonna start off with the fire signs because I'm selfish. Let's get it. No, listen, it's not even a selfish thing. It's like the fire energy that's really coming through in terms of the solar eclipse in Aries. Honestly, for all fire signs, just to give you some context, you might be real chill. You might be like real like quiet. Like, right, like the solar eclipse in Aries is not making fire signs louder. It actually shuts us up. It's like the one time a year where we're like, you know. So let's start off with Aries, since this is going to be your new moon, and we're going to move it from there, right? So for Aries, let's see what's pulling up for y'all. Oh, y'all saw how this was accidentally there, and I just let it go, and I kept shuffling, and it popped up again. If you know, you know. Aries, I'm putting it like this, right? The girlies are fighting Aries. Everybody like around you is dealing with shunting. There's some type of like there's I don't want to say like everyone's beefing around you, because it's not like they're beefing around you, but basically there's enough squabbling happening around your world, Aries rising, Aries moon, Aries sun, that you're like, yo, if I hop into that, we squabbling for it. Squabble up, right? It's like oh, if we're getting into that, let's pop off. Let's stop. No, Aries, because the underneath, through all the chaos and all the BS and everyone getting into their feelings, especially when it comes to the discourse of everything, the minute that you say something, Aries, everyone's going to try to be like, hey, that's the guy over there, right? I'm thinking about Power Rangers because I'm a nerd. And back in the day, like everybody was chilling until the Green Ranger showed up. And as soon as the Green Ranger came through, everyone stopped what they were doing. They're like, no, get him instead. Aries, that's what's going to be you if you start to pull up. Because guess what? Aries don't have to deal with none of that. Aries, you're actually being met by people who are seeing your value for the first time, like truly for the first time. And like there's a weird imposter syndrome, because it's like you're going to be in a situation where you don't have to prove yourself, because everyone's like, no, the proof is in the pudding. Like you yourself are the social proof. So something to let you know, Aries, is that it's like your stock is way higher than you think it is, but that's why the distractions of everybody else is going to want to get you into like BS. But if you start to disperse yourself, Aries, into every situation where people are starting to like be on some BS, you start to become part of it, and then you miss out on that super specific thing that's coming in your world that wants to align you to your greatest self. So I hope that gives you some context, Aries. Go Power Rangers. Go Power Rangers. I was always the Red Ranger. Canonically, in terms of the playground, I was a Red Ranger on the playground, you know what I'm saying? Had me a little Pink Ranger type deal, you know what I'm saying? That was rocking with the kid. We had all the Rangers, man. We had all the Rangers. That's all it was. All right, let me see real quick. House Cat said I'm being pushed into a new and improved community, right? And so here's the thing, House Cat. If you're staying in the old community, everyone's going to start beefing with you because your energy has outgrown them. Keep that in mind. So, Purple Ranger's fire. All right, anyway, let's get to the next one. Leo. These are for my Leos. Leos. Why y'all hair so nice? Y'all have nice hair, man. It's really annoying. Everyone thinks I'm a Leo because I have nice hair, but that's not the case. It's just, you know. All right, Leo. Actually, for y'all, let's get it. Okay, Leo. Let me be honest with you, right? This is interesting because what I get from this, Leo, is that it's like you thought that there's supposed to be a certain union that's supposed to happen. Like I feel like for Leo, like y'all have been really keen. It's not unrequited love. That's not correct. Unrequited love is really underselling what I'm trying to say. What I can say in terms of this, Leo, though, is that it's like you have been holding your heart strong enough for two different people. You've been holding your energy so strong. It's like if you can't love yourself, I love you so much. It seems like you're loving yourself. No, because guess what, Leo? Where's your energy been at? Right? Where was your antennas? No, but honestly, the idea though of moving into this next part, Leo, there's a walk. You're literally about to see something. Like, oh, this was supposed to be my sacred union, and it's like you're getting to the wedding day and you walk away. And you just walk away and it's going to just, I don't know how to explain it, Leo. I'm just trying to be as transparent about this as possible to where it's like, you're going to see in some cases that like, oh wait, I was the heart of this situation, not them. And it's going to radicalize you enough to be like, I need to take my own space and take my own power back. And I hope this isn't in like every case. I don't think this is all relationship based particularly, as much as it's like just with all the things in general, right? So just something to point out in that process to give you that context. And I hope that this resonates with y'all in that type of way, right? And yeah, part of the reason why I'm even doing, again, different videos moving forward is so I could like have a full thing for like every sign or something. We work and we workshop and we doing stuff. All right. Sagittarius. Let's see what's going on. Sagittarius rising, sun and moon. Let's see what's pulling up for y'all. All right. So, congratulations, Sag, because in this process of what you're going through, it is the knight becoming the king. And so, and just to give you like really like genuine context, it's like that was all of what this stream was kind of talking about when I was referring back to this, right? So for all my Sag energy people, that's the type of time we about to be on, because it's like you've been doing the work, you've been diligent, you've been patient, you've been waiting, you've been doing things, you've been waiting for your opportunity, you've been doing all that stuff, right? Now, the transition of trying to almost like always stay ahead of the curve, always hop over ahead of stuff. It's like, no. What did you mean I don't bring nothing to the table when I'm the table? King of Pentacles is just you stepping into your power and like talking that ish. And like really just being like, yo, it's not a matter of ego. It's a matter of fact, right? It's not a matter of, oh, I think this. It's a matter of social proof. It's like someone could go over to you and be like, man, you're not who you say you are. And you just tap the next person over there and be like, yo, you just hear what they said to me? That's the power that you're about to step into, Sag, post this solar eclipse in Aries. So I hope that gives you a little context and a little more confidence into like what's going on, because like what you are building is about to actually make you like royalty in that sense. So good shit. All right. I'm going to water signs. I was thinking about y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love me a good water rising, respectively. So let's get into. So let me get into. Y'all be mad fine. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but let's get into it. Water signs, right? So we're going to start off Cancer, go to Scorpio, then we're going to Pisces, right? So for my water signs, let's see what's popping up. Hi, Ann. Ann, this is my last live stream, but I promise you I'm about to do more stuff. I know you love coming to my live streams and you be mad. I'm going to post a lot more, Ann. I fucking love Ann. Listen, Ann, I'm just letting you know, it's my last like official live stream like this. I'll be doing cooler stuff soon, okay? You know what I'm saying? I know every once in a while we be like, we be talking back and forth. I'm just like, wait, I got you. Just to let you know. So I will be posting other stuff. So stay tuned. Okay. So I hear sirens yelling outside. I don't know if y'all hear that, but let's get it. Also, the reason why I'm stopped going live is because it doesn't notify people because I've been spitting the reel for too long. But that's not the case. You know, we just gonna keep it rocking. Cancer rising. This is for you. Sun and moon. All that good stuff. Let's pop up. Yo, you wanna know what's crazy? Cancer rising. Yo, you wanna know what's crazy about this pull, Cancer rising? This is actually one of the craziest pulls I've had in a while. Underneath this whole thing is the Five of Pentacles. See how there's literally 3 things that are knocked over and there's 2 things behind, and it's like, oh my God, like everything that I tried to plan when I was over planning and over exerting myself and over promising too much to everything, and it got really overwhelming and I couldn't do all of them. I could only do a couple things and I had to choose me instead, and I feel really bad about it. You wanna know the craziest part, Cancer? You wanna know the craziest part? On this side, that's happening. But in the reality of what's happening, there's another 3 cups. Like you're like, oh no, these 3 cups are gone. Meanwhile, everyone's like, yo, I can't believe we got these new cups. We got the best cups in the world. Yeah, you're there, you're like, I don't even like those cups before, but like, I'm so sad it didn't work out the way that I want. Shut up, bro. Like you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, so watery facts. But it's funny because it's like, your real goal right now, Cancer, is to celebrate the accomplishments of how far you've come, because there was a time frame where all those cups spilled over every time. And you over there being like, you good. Because the reason why, right? The 3 of cups moving forward genuinely is like this, and accepting the fact that abundance is yours and you're right, the more abundance happens to become your right. Okay. I know I'll be making fun of y'all a little bit, but like, that's really what I'm getting from that. I didn't know how else to explain it, to be honest. Like, that's just what was coming through. So appreciate you. Also, for anybody who wants to get a mini reading live still, pull through. I have them up for right now. Yeah, this has been beautiful, man. Oh, shoot. Okay. I was pulling for Scorpio, and this is what actually came up. So this is what just dropped on the floor, Scorpio. So it's kind of like where Aries is like, yo, everybody's squabbling. I'm gonna do my own thing, right? On the other hand, Scorpio, you already have all the abundance. This is funny because now I'm looking at Scorpio right now. Scorpio, you have all the abundance. Like, Scorpio, you've achieved so much crap. Like, you've actually done everything that you want, but you're like, you want to know what? I know I have everything, but I really do miss squabbling about stuff. So Scorpio, I ain't gonna lie, y'all about to be acting up a little bit. Y'all about to be a little sensitive. Y'all about to, y'all about to be acting up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, it's almost like I feel it's the Kendrick notion of like, I've done all this really strong healing and I feel like I've come out of it a better person, and now I'm more pissed off than ever. So now I gotta triple down. I'm laughing because I get it, but it's one of those situations to where it's like, Scorpio, you don't have to keep squabbling with people, but you're like, but it's sharpening the sword. But I like to go back and forth. It really shows that people care. It's really funny that that's happening that way, but just know, Scorpio, that some of the squabbles that you're about to like kind of start or be a part of, it's because karma's kind of being like, they deserve it. So like, have fun, Scorpio. But like, while everyone was kung fu fighting Scorpio out, facts. You know what I'm saying? It's mad funny. Speaking, I see someone, you're saying they're waiting for the Pisces reading. We're doing the Pisces reading right now. So it's going to be for Pisces, rising, sun, moon. Let's get it. Okay. I'm reloaded. All right, let's get it. Kendrick is indeed a Gemini with the Pisces moon. Speaking of Pisces, it's for y'all. Okay, Pisces. Ooh, Pisces, y'all got y'all sauce back. Hold on, one sec. Let me explain. Pisces, y'all got the King of Cups. Y'all got the King of Cups. Oh, that's fire. So at the end of Neptune being in Pisces with a North Node there as well, right? Y'all have like, Pisces, did y'all realize y'all are like the ones that aren't really from Earth? Like I was talking about earlier, I was like, everybody human. I was like, except Aquarius and Pisces. Love y'all. Oh my, that's a little different. That's a different octave of things, right? But it's funny because it's like as Pisces, you're stepping into this emotive power where you're like, oh, my emotions were always the only reason why people listen to me. My emotions were the only reason why people are listening to me. And as soon as I try to get logical, nothing happens and no one hears me out. And now you're giving and taking to people who have always respected and honored your heart. And you're not giving to the people who were just like, hey, weren't you supposed to fix my problems emotionally? Weren't you supposed to fix my problems emotionally? This person right here, all they wanted was a Dorito from your bag. You just got them a whole bag. You just got them all types of Doritos. You know what I'm saying? Doritos sponsor me. It's for the hood. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but for real, the idea behind this Pisces is that it's like you're only going to be giving and reciprocating the energies into like what you need to for real. So something to keep in mind in that process, right? So we got one reading so far in terms of the solar eclipse. For anybody who does want to get a reading right now, you know what I'm saying? We going out with a bang about this. So the more y'all pull through, the more I pop off. But like, if y'all don't want to, if life hurting, the pockets is hurting, like I totally get it. No worries. Cause life be life for real. But I'm here. All right. So that's Pisces as well. Now I'm gonna go to the earth signs. I feel like y'all go last too much. So I'm gonna go for the earth signs, right? Whew. All right. I was about to be like, this is for Taurus, but this just flew out. So I'm just gonna let you know. Taurus, we got the judgment card for y'all. This speaks to me though. Like y'all didn't do nothing wrong, but this is the actual, they mess with the bull too long and the horns have to come out. And it's not that you're being harsh about this, Taurus, right? Taurus, rising, sun, moon. You're not being harsh about this. You're not trying to be a jerk about it, but you have to put people, things, situations in their proper place. So this is like, let's say somebody had like, because Taurus are the queens of unrequited crushes, right? So let's say somebody who was like, oh yeah, like I'm trying to slide. Just kidding. We could be friends while I still try to slide. You know those people. It's like they keep pushing, then they say something a little disrespectful. And normally you're like, oh no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Normally like, oh no, it's cool. Like they must have typed it by accident. Maybe they just said something wrong. Nah, Taurus, this is you being like, and here's my boundary. Talk to the hand, girlfriend. No, but honestly, it's one of those situations where it's literally like, back up out of there. Get up on my face. Leave me alone. That's going to be one of those situations that's really pulls through because like Taurus, you're learning how to take your energy back. So all the manifestation power that you have goes to you and not to those random people who are trying to leech off of your ability to manifest and how pretty you are and all that stuff. That's literally canonically true. So yes, that is how that works. Sorry about the mic thing. I should definitely get a shield, but yeah, I'm not going live the same way again. So y'all don't have to worry about it. Okay. Cause I can edit it later. And it'll be perfect whenever I do. It's so great. It's like, it's all I wanted. I just wanted high quality, spiritual, cool content. That's all I wanted. Speaking of, let's go to Virgo. Virgo, ho. Let's see what's going on with the solar eclipse with y'all. Solar eclipse. Virgo. All right. So Virgo, y'all about to start campaigning. I don't know what that means fully yet, but let me explain. Y'all about to start campaigning. It's almost like while everybody else is like slowly taking a seat during this eclipse to kind of like process and whatever else, Virgo, you're like, well, while everyone else is asleep, I'm very awake. And like the one thing that I'm getting from this in terms of everything, right? Yo, shout out. So for anyone who, I forgot to mention this. Again, this is why I'm reframing everything. Shout out Neptune and Aries. I can't wait because this is different. But you just said the video podcasts are hurting, so I sucked it up and got the subscription. The subscription is going to be the best thing. And honestly, I'm going to be gifting some things to some people who have been longer time supporters over the course of the next few days. So like if you were subscribed from jump to the newsletter, I'm promoting you to I have some nice things I'm gonna do. So if you just see something pop up in your email and it's from me, just know. I pay attention to who be in here. I see stuff. I feel like now without the lives, I have the time to invest back directly into everyone. And that's why I'm really excited about this change. So thank y'all for rocking with me as I do this. But continue. Virgo, back to you. I ain't forget about y'all. Also get the subscription for the Moon Mastery, because I will send you a specific thing to yourself. So, and that will be after. That's not a live reading. I'll be sending that to you directly. So I get to go in with your chart and just bug out. So that get that while that's at that price too. So that'll stay. Just to let you know. Okay, Virgo, as I used your in between to Virgo out my own self. When it gets to this, I'll put it like this, Virgo. No one wants your critique right now. They just want to see you do this stuff that you know people need to do. And the minute that they see you do it, they'll want to emulate you. And the minute they emulate you, you're back to being in charge and managing. But they have to like almost like see you do it first, right? The reason why I'm not a generational athlete is because I'm just saying that as like half cap. But the reason why I didn't go to college for basketball, which is a more accurate statement, is because I couldn't get along with coaches that couldn't do the same work they were trying to force us to do, right? Like if a coach was mad big and could barely breathe when he walks, and he was telling everybody on the team at a different time in life that they were like obese or blah blah and etc. And then he couldn't run down the thing. I was the biggest asshole. In Virgo, I think this is kind of like a similar thing that's going to happen with y'all. I'll just give you some context. But yeah, that's the vibe there. So it's not about practicing what you preach. It's about showing them how to practice to preach. Okay. Now, Capricorn, my Caprice, my Capricorn. So Capricorn, what we got for y'all? Okay, Cap. Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You know, I'm honest with all y'all with this, but like, I'm gonna be real with you. Capricorn, your plan sucks. Your plan was trash. It sucks. Yes, you failed. Capricorn, you failed. Your plan sucked. You failed. I'm not saying this to be a jerk. I'm saying this because this is the metamorphosis you're going into. The reason why you had to quote unquote fail or not have the thing go through perfect the way that you needed it to is so it can actually metamorphosize into what you need it to be. So this might be one of those situations where you like hand something in and they give you an F and you fail the class. And you're like, oh my God, I failed the class. I'm a failure. And then you get into the next class and the person that's teaching you is the perfect teacher for it, right? And then you pass with flying colors. It somehow becomes the thing that you do in your life. And then when you have your reward speech later on, you're like, F you, first teacher who said I wasn't crap. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to be out there like a rapper. But no, for real though, it is one of those situations to where it's like, my favorite joke about people are like the rappers in class. They're like, man, ain't none of y'all teachers believe in you ever? Probably not. But the funny part is that like, that's like one of those scenarios though, in terms of like the actual change is that like you're alchemizing what you used to deem as a mistake into your power. So yeah, you really love the live chats. Thanks for building community. The live chats are going to continue going forward when I do go into these private sessions, and I'm slowly but surely, I don't know how I want to do it. I've been thinking about doing Discord for a while, but I'm also trash at like managing stuff. I'm good at getting people to this correction. I'm trash at managing stuff if I'm the focal point, because I'm just like, it's a vibe, guys. If it's somebody else's stuff, I'm the best immediately. But like, I would definitely be down to start something to where like it'd be a chat where people could talk about stuff and like get into these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't, as much as I like can't talk about myself in these stuff, like this isn't about me. This is about y'all. Like truly, this is about like getting the spaces and the places and the areas for like y'all to interact. Like I've literally have gone to tears seeing some of y'all follow each other back and like comment on stuff. And I'm like, did they find each other through me? That's crazy. But that's how I found a lot of early people going on too. You know what I'm saying? I would go on and watch other YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? I literally was in the Peace Dealers live yesterday. That's one of the big homies. I was one of the first people that I saw with my skin tone kicking astrology game like that. And bro gave me the battery in my back to like give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? He was like, hey man, You don't know until you do it, but like you got it. And it's important. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I try my best to pay it forward as well. So yeah. Anyway, let's get over to my people, the air signs, my airheads, you silly gooses. Let's it's about us. They not like us. They not like us. See, I felt that way different. You know what I'm saying? I felt that way different. I'll be feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like being the king of the underground is a blessing sometimes. But sometimes it'd be like, they don't invite me to no conventions. I'm too honest. I'll be like, look. Dude. Hey, anyway. Let's get it. I just started talking in lives. I used to only listen before, but looking forward to inspired by the next chapter. Forever a silly goose. Y'all know that. And I appreciate, like, for real, like, I remember the names. I appreciate y'all, like, for real. I just, like, I want to be able to interact back with y'all, like, and not just be like, oh, this is my job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that I think is going to transition. Cause like I met some of the dopest people, like, who are like my homies, like, through this, and like just people in life. Like, it's when you do the work, everything pulls through the way it's supposed to. So, okay, we got stuff dropping. This is for my Geminis, right? So Gemini, rising, moon, all that. You have the wheel of fortune, choice, devotion. Now, wheel of fortune. Good things are coming. Or are they? No, but they're good. It's the freaking wheel of fortune. Like, you're fine. So we have the wheel of fortune, right? And with the wheel of fortune, we also have the Hierophant. And so one thing that I want to kind of point out, Gemini, is that, like, y'all are going to start grounding for the first time, and it's going to be terrifying. Like, a grounded Gemini is what we've seen in Kendrick Lamar. A grounded Gemini is what we've seen in grounded Gemini is also what we've seen in Andre 3000. He did the whole Flute album, right? You want to know what ungrounded Gemini? Kanye. Ungrounded. No grounding at all. Gosh darn it. Why did you ruin all the things? You have to stay on the floor. You're staying on the floor. Anyway, so what I'm saying, right? What I am saying though, right, in terms of this, is that, like, the Hierophant portion, for real, is like Gemini is going to be able to actually, like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you watch my hand, you'll know what I'm doing. It's almost like Gemini, like, you know how to properly spin the block. And I know that sounds wild. That's how it channeled through. Please forgive me, whatever. But, like, for real, it's like knowing how to move through a room full of vultures is, like, really what's coming to mind. I have a lot of hip hop references. Shoot. Anyway, but what I'm saying is that, like, the change in the new parts of it is, like, making sure that, like, you at the end of the yap, you're making the point. I think that's really what's happening. Is that, like, no matter how much you yap, or you're ending on, like, a real grounded point. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, homie trip. I don't know, man. It's hard being an older fan. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sucks, man. It sucks. I haven't listened to him properly since Yay. I'm like, man. Which sucks because he's, like, actually a channel. Like, he's a cold channeler, but then he just going off the deep end every time. There's any type of time to go off the deep end, he just does it, you know? Anyway, to get this moving a little bit forward though, Gemini, that is the main thing. It's like you're, like, literally learning how to land on that last point. You know what I'm saying? Because even after all of Kanye's rants, he makes a singular one really good point. But then it's like, I couldn't agree with 95% of anything else. Like, you're terrible for that. But it's going to be way more than 5% Gemini. It's going to be more than 50. And I think it's like, it's a understanding of both sides of your duality. I know I've been yapping a second for Gemini, but I think that's a really important part to make. Yeah. Cool. Dope. Oh, we got twins up in there. Okay. All right, let's get it. So this is going to be for Libra, right? For Libra. Let's see what we got. All right, Libra. So here's what's going on. Underneath everything, we have the Judgment card. And what I think is coming up for this, Libra, is that it's like, how do I put this? Everyone else has seen your power, Libra, But the problem with Libra is that they always assume that the things that are happening that are great has to do directly with another person, and it doesn't always have to. What I'm trying to say with this Libra is that it's like, this Judgment card is an awakening. This is the underlying thing, right? This is like an epiphany. You get what I'm saying? Hey, much love. Catch up with you. I know you got to do y'all thing, you know what I'm saying? So appreciate you for showing up. But this is like y'all like hopping into this epiphany, right? And on the other side of this, you're actually gaining control on things when you know that like the life is changing. Your life is changing. Your life looks so different than it did 5 to 10 years ago. Like super different. You can't even remember some people that you dated, Libra. That's how far back it is, where you're like, oh yeah, oh, like that's how far back certain things are. And so what's going on right now is you're actually gaining this like part of control onto what that is. You're gaining this part of like understanding onto what that is versus anything else. So that's something that I wanted to point out to you, just in terms of that. And what I feel like is going through is that like you have to remember that you are the person who's making those big changes, and you're going to start to hold on to like your mindset about things versus trying to accommodate other people's mindset. So that's something to put in mind too. Got to put the kids to bed. So if you're done before I come back, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for the lives, which led me to get in my first chart reading, Intro to the Astral World. Freaking love y'all, man. I just love y'all, man. This is and that's why like it took me so long to like talk about this, because I was like, it's such a heavy heart to be like, hey guys, I'm out. Like I'm here, but I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the Sun card. So I told you I got some stuff pulling through. Let me stop. Yeah. Okay. My bad. I did that. Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, no. One sec. Aquarius made me lock in for a second. One second. Why am I locked in so hard right now? Aquarius, this is actually something pulling up for y'all. One second. Oh, Aquarius. Life gets better, y'all. This Pluto in Aquarius is giving you all the stuff that you wanted. And it's funny because it's like, Aquarius, the luck that's coming through is actually for all your like unconventional stuff. It's actually for all the unconventional thoughts you had, all those other like takes that you had. Like you're finally getting into this weird space where you're like, oh, everything around me is exactly what I want it to be. It's weird. It's not regular. It's my own thing. And like, this is also speaking to Aquarius. Y'all about to start getting cuffed. Y'all about to start getting, oh, look at them. Ooh, they made these people. Why they do all that? How did they make these little people dancing around? Go off, Aquarius. But for real, there is going to be like a lot of luck in terms of like finding people that you need in terms of either socially or romantically. So that's something to also keep in mind in terms of that. So I hope that helped and gave everybody the perspective, right? But yeah, I got a new paid subscriber to Under the Stars We Wander. I'm about to start spazzing on that paid part of the newsletter. I'm about to start spazzing. I got ideas. Anyway. But yeah. Okay, cool. So as of right now, I think I have 2 people in the queue in terms of the mini reading for right now. And for anyone who wants to sign up for afterward, definitely just sign up for the Moon Mastery thing at that point. But let's get into these live readings. I'm just double checking on my back end for everything. But for those of y'all who have just shown up to show out and show love, like, thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? This was out of nowhere too. I didn't plan this out. It just came to my heart today. I was like, well, I said I was going to end it off, but I haven't like had the let me end it off thing. So it didn't feel like it was like that. So, you know, Venus is slipping back into the very ends of Pisces, and I'm gonna float my way back to giving y'all what you need from my own platform. Y'all also got to remember I work for like 3 other different things too. So it's like I'll be moving, but I just want to make sure that what I put across, I am happy about, and then you get to feel, because y'all know like I got the technical part. So thank you. Have to go get some Z's. Have a good night, Jenny. Okay. Really miss these online gathering. I'm going to get all right. Okay. I will have the first meeting thing that we do before the full moon in Libra. We're going to give it a shot. I'm going to have people's mics muted at first, because I'm still going to be figuring out how to like have a back and forth, because like I don't want to have like priority over too many things, and I still want to do that. But when I bring them back, it's going to be more ceremonial. But I'm aiming for the full moon. It's going to be a different class. It's going to be like, if you show up and can get there, you show up and get there. But like, I need y'all to show up and get there. And for those of y'all who are overseas, I will always make sure that you have the recording ready. And everyone gets a recording who came through afterward as well. I want to start hosting them maybe on the day of. So what's up? Give in. I'm just not doing it on YouTube because the YouTube live is a different bandwidth for me. And I'm also like basically prepping every live as if millions of people will watch this in the future. And that's like just a really terrible mindset to have about it. So I'm just like, you want to know what? Let me put something that like, if a million people did see it, I'm like, yeah, you're damn right. Yeah, absolutely right. So make sure that you go subscribe to Under the Stars We Wander We Haven't. It's on my website. I'm going to be dropping more newsletter stuff and getting more I'm so hyped to show y'all what I have in store though. I can't talk about it yet because it's very anti-me to talk about things before they fully formulate, but like, anyway, so let's get to this next part, right? Chris, man. All right, Chris, you better come through the other ceremonies. I'm like, man, I'm gonna miss seeing some names pop up. Really glad you found me back in the HO. I didn't realize you were from HOI time. Wow. Oh, it's just been so long. But it's going to be similar to the HOI part, or like the HOI live classes I used to do. But like, we're going to have a section where we all get to talk. So holy crap. Okay. As you can see, I have been experiencing this eclipse season myself. So I hope everything's still reaching through. Sorry about the mic loudness. Still getting used to doing this without any rules on it. I'm supposed to do a lot of different things for this, but I don't care. Okay. All right, Chris, this is for you. Open to whatever comes through. Excited for your next chapter. Thank you. Excited for your next chapter too. Let's pull about it. All right, so let me get this. I have like a table right here and I'm still putting it on my leg. That's so crazy. Okay. Chris, you know, I always keep it real with you. The stress that you're feeling is not of your own cause. Let me say this one more time. The stress that you're feeling is not of your own cause. It's also not an end all be all. It is a temporary situation. You are dealing with what is known as a dark night of the soul, which is happening to the larger part of the collective during this eclipse season. Most people aren't aware of these things, but you are aware of it. So the feeling and the heaviness that you have been feeling has to do with the collective's heaviness, not your own ups and downs or anything else. How do I explain this? So in the past position, we have the Hierophant, right? So there's this part to where it's like you came into a different understanding. You came into a different knowing than everybody else that's around you. You have a different groundwork on things that other people claim that they do, right? And because you're the only one, and I think we've read about this before, where it's like you're the only one that really knows what's going on, you're doing the most work. You're just working, you're working. But guess what? That working and that almost like workaholic part that's happening because of everyone else's incompetence, just being honest, is making you be like, oh my God, am I always going to be undervalued? Is no one actually going to see my power? This is a temporary circumstance. The reason why this is all happening right now is because come the solar eclipse, that's when that's going to kind of like, it's going to hit the fan, right? Not for you, for everybody else. And what do I mean by this? We have the Justice card. They haven't been giving you your credit. Well, they have to now. They haven't been showing you the love that they're supposed to. Bow down. Like you're getting into this really different space to where it's like, and I'm not saying the like, so here in this analogy, when I say that, I'm not saying that you should go to your job and be like, I'll quit if I don't. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying though is that like, you're going to be under a potentiality for renegotiating something based off your actual worth, especially. So it's like if no one else is pulling their weight, but you show like in all the receipts you have this, be like, hey, I can keep doing the work I'm doing, but I need to get paid for the work I'm doing. And if you're not going to pay me doing this, I got to go to the next spot. I hope this analogy is making sense for you in that capacity, Chris, but just know that the stress that's been going on is not of your own like full making. There's a reason on some esoteric eclipse part for you to like really feel into that energetic again for yourself. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this reaches you the right way with that. But yeah, that's what I got for that. Okay. Okay, let's get it. All right. I hope I'm saying that correct. This is for you, and I think this is the last one that I have. Yes. Okay. So this one's for you. Then I'm gonna head out, and then put the monetization on for everyone else who watches this later. You should have been here live. Nah. But yeah. So this is for Aya, right? No, general. Let's get it. So. Thanks for holding space on YouTube. Glad to have randomly opened the app for the final live in this format. Excited for the next chapter. Yeah. Apology, yeah. My fault. Thank you for correcting me. Y'all know I hate pronouncing people's names wrong so much. Thank you, yeah. Okay, so let's get it. You're going to have that. Anyway, so let's get it. Hopefully talk to y'all in the chat again soon. Man, y'all about to break my heart with all this. Come on, stop doing that. I'm sticking to it, damn it. All right, let's get it though. All right, yeah, let's go. Boom. So if you have been, as we say, chilling, these are the two cards that I have that popped up as the theme, right? Usually be one or the other, you know what I'm saying? But this, shout out to you. Okay, I'm glad that it came through, Chris. Much love. Okay, but the idea, right, is that this right here, you've been chilling, you're not gonna be chilling in a second. Like there's been this weird, like almost influx of like raw, real manifestation where you're like, how am I all of a sudden doing all this crap all at once? And then next thing you know, nothing happens. And I want to let you kind of know that this teeter-totter of energy has been happening for a reason. Let me explain. So, past position. This is the nostalgia card. This is the like, when I was just a girl, they expected the word. Anyway, but like, there is this like nostalgic portion, I would say, in terms of like the Six of Cups every time I pull it, to where it's like, what did you used to like watch? What brings you that giddy thing? What brings in and invokes your inner child again? And this really usually speaks to like a creativity resurgence, or like if it's not a creativity resurgence, maybe you just start like, you know, like when you're like younger, you start flirting with people, you're trying to flirt for the first time, or you're just like, hey, I really like your hat. Like it's like this is like innocence that kind of had come through for a little bit. And in terms of this, it's like, I have the creative part. I have these things coming up. So what's going wrong? Like there's something has to be off. Something has to be going wrong. There's this like, and again, there's this back and forth between like this rest and things are happening and this creative and everything's beautiful. Oh my God, what's happening? Everything's not happening. Why is this all going on? So give you some perspective. We have the Death card. This is the metamorphosis and alchemization of you being able to meld these two concepts together to where you trust the process of how it moves, right? Because I think one of the things, especially because you have a bunch of cardinal energy in your big three, you're always wanting to push things forward, but this is actually about surrender. This is actually about surrendering to those. I want to do this right now. Okay, I'm gonna do this right now. I don't want to do anything right now. I'm gonna trust that. That's what's honestly happening with all this. Like if I'm just breaking it down as simply as possible, that is the main thing that I'm seeing with this, especially during this eclipse season time. Also, the sun. And this I don't think anyone else got anything. Let me just double check. I don't think anyone did, but I just want to make sure. Because like ending off the live stream, whole vibe. One more person got it. Well, I said ending this all. I got you, Olivia. I got you. I see you. But like it's just funny because it's like the sun card here, this is making sure that you get to move your light forward. So the Death card to the sun card, the solar eclipse is when the Death card happens to the sun. And then transforms everything. Everything I talked about this entire like reading can almost be summarized in just those two cards alone. So for you, this is also making a really stronger point. And I think about this upcoming full moon that's going to be happening closer to the end of April. All the things that you were aiming for in terms of balance, Good work. You've been doing your stuff. So that's for you, Yaya. Appreciate you. And let's move this forward. We're fulfilling orders out here, dog. All right, now this is for Olivia, and this is the actual last one. You know what I'm saying? According to this thus far, who knows? I could be for the rest of the night. Who knows? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? All right, you're doing great. Stop flattering me when I'm trying to focus. Okay, whatever comes through. Okay, this is for Olivia. Let's get it. Definitely resonated. Got you, yo. I'm glad that it ended up pulling through. I'll be adding more tarot services. That's another thing I've been planning. Okay, so I've been cooking. I've just been having to chill about it. So this is going to be for you, Olivia. Let's get back to it before my Sagittarius brain takes me somewhere completely different. So bow, bow, bow. Pull that mad weird. Olivia, if you don't sit yourself down and rest, if you don't sit yourself down and rest, look, you see how he's so chill. You don't even think he alive. This is how chill he is. You know what I'm saying? But for real, the reason why I want to point this out this way, when I get the rest card like that, it's like, oh, you want to know why you need to rest? You want to know why you need to rest, Olivia? Because everything you want is just coming true. This is the most stacked for anyone. All right. For any of y'all who know tarot or like our readers or like anyone who's in here, do you see how stacked this is right now? This is the first card. 1, 2, 3. But like, do you see how stacked this? Let me explain. Olivia, the Empress card. The Empress is the Queen of Queens. The Empress is the legitimate divine feminine baddie at the divine feminine baddie. It's like when people talk about the divine feminine, they're like, oh, I'm supposed to just do this. Like that's actually the Empress, right? The reason why this is so important is because it's like, I feel like you finally felt into this very receptive part of things. You felt into a very like more intuitive and centralized part of things in this regard, right? And as you've been feeling that, you've been like getting to honor what that feeling is supposed to be or what it's supposed to feel like in the first place, which is super important, right? And the other side frame, the other thing that I want to say for this, right, is that after the Empress, we also have the Queen of Wands. So this is almost like, hey, I felt into that Empress energy and I know what it is, but I'm choosing to lean out of all the avenues that I can pick. I'm choosing to lean back on my passion more, right? I'm letting myself have fun in the day. I'm letting myself go out for the weekend. I'm letting myself enjoy myself. Why? Because literally it's through your enjoyment and through your ability to receive, which is super important. It's through your ability to receive that you get everything you want. This could be as simple, and I'm telling you this right now. This can be as simple as like, you have to go to an event. You have to go to, let's say, a work event, right? And everyone's like, oh, dress a little bit nice. But you're like, you want to know what? I'm about to just show out today. You know what I'm saying? I got a little sequence dress I've been hiding over there. You know what I'm saying? I looked up a couple of tutorials on TikTok about how to do your makeup a certain way. So I'm gonna try that out too, just to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And you pull up, hit the bombshell wave, and everyone all of a sudden is like, take everything, take all this stuff. Like there's like a real power to that because the Empress demands that. It's so fire. The Empress is so fine because it's like give me that, right? When do we think about Empress? Rihanna, ugh. I love Rihanna. We had the same lips. I love Rihanna. Anyway, out of my own brain, I gotta get off live soon. That's why I can't be live for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but for real, one of the actual like renditions of what I'm trying to get across with this is that you're getting into this position where like your wishes are really being fulfilled as you step up into the power of that like receptivity. And it's almost like I deserve it. Like I deserve it. Maybe before you're like, oh, like it would be cool if like you got me something, but no, you don't have. No, like okay. Oh, I got it. Oh, I'm about to go run the coffee. You want to get one? Here's my order to a T. And with the air of almost like don't mess it up. Not because you're trying to be a jerk, but because like the energetic is demanding you have those nice things because the wish fulfillment card is right after that. So your wishes are coming true. It's not about manifestation for this eclipse at all. It's happening. So you've done the work. Congratulations. Things are changing. And that right there has been the reading. I don't think we have any more left in the queue right now. I'm just triple checking one more time. Dewey. Negative. Okay, cool. So appreciate y'all for coming through to this last live stream for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to show the social proof of 2 years just to be like, hey, this is what I did for y'all for free when I was like, oh, this is for the public. So when we get into this next stage of things, I'm finna spaz. I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. You know what I'm saying? See you next time. I'm gonna be around. Like, so make sure if you don't follow me on Instagram or Threads, like I'm in different spots. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on Threads, follow me on my newsletter. That's where you get the main part of things. And I'll just be adding more videos. There's a lot that's changing, and I can't wait to talk to y'all about it, but I have to just give it like a little bit. But if y'all can come through for some readings, it'll definitely help because there's some investment that's being made. But like, for real, appreciate y'all stepping into your power and wanting to. And that's what these live streams have always been about. And with that being said, appreciate you all. See you all in this next chapter that's upcoming. And like, thank you for every step of the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Y'all have a good one. Stay blessed. If you ever need me, literally reach out. I know it may not be live, but just say what's up, you know? All the best to you. Stay beautiful. Stay up. This has been your friendly neighbor, Chad the Maverick. We signing off till next time.